gas is not very fun to do.
The national average for a gallon is over $4. We'll show you some ways to save. And later,
it's not Five Nights at Freddy's, like why?
There's a new job opportunity for students on campus, but it involves keeping an eye on your peers.
As we showed you recently, smoking hemp is now illegal in Texas. Or is it?
Are you planning to drop by the river? New changes by the city mean you'll have to pay to get in.
You know you prowled around looking for parking space this week. What if we told you there was a lot you already paid for that you can use right now?
Hi, and welcome to this edition of Bobcat Update. I'm Kimberly Olivas, and thank you for joining us.
I'm Rachel Perez. We have a lot going on this week on Bobcat Update. We start with global news that has impacts right here in San Marcos. U.S. Navy ships are now blocking key ports in Iran. Representatives from both countries tried to negotiate a solution over the weekend, but couldn't reach a deal. The goal is to stop Iran from blocking the Strait of Hormuz. About 20% of the world's supply of oil and gas usually ships through there, but Iran blocked it after the U.S. launched airstrikes last month. Now the U.S. is trying to control which tankers to allow. Only a handful of ships went through this week, still way behind normal traffic. Less oil from Iran means higher prices all over. If you filled up your tank lately, you've probably felt the hit to your wallet. And Texas State students are feeling it even more. The rise in gas prices is affecting every trip from commuting to class to weekend plans. Reporter Gisela Morones and I got out to some local gas stations to show how the real cost of gas goes way beyond what's posted at the pump.
Gas prices are climbing again, and for Texas State students, that means every trip you take down I-35 feels a little more expensive. I spoke with students who say the rising cost of fuel is forcing them to rethink how they'll get around. Gas prices in Hays County have been creeping upward over the past few weeks. According to AAA, many stations in San Marcos are now reaching near $4 a gallon. For students who commute to campus, or even just across town, the added cost is starting to sting. And for some, it's not just about getting to class. Mia Aguirre, a junior at Texas State University, says the rising fuel costs are making it challenging for her to not only budget her living expenses, but visit her loved ones who live hours away.
Especially with the combination of grocery prices, it's not very easy, so gas is not very fun to do.
Aguirre is not alone, because another Texas State student, Alea Jones, says she used to go home every weekend, but with the recent gas prices, that hasn't been so easy for her to accomplish.
As a student, I would say I travel home 2 hours pretty recently, almost every weekend, I would say. So it's kind of like I want to stay home when I'm here, but like I have obligations that I obviously have to drive to. And so every time I go get gas, I kind of just want to cry because it's just getting more and more expensive.
Gas stations are also trying to make filling up a little easier. Apps like 7-Eleven and ExxonMobil offer discounts that can help you save money at the pump. The points can go towards cheaper gas, snacks inside, and even a car wash. Small perks like these help students stretch their budget. With President Trump back in office and the war overseas pushing prices up, students say it's hitting their wallets hard. Between tuition, rent, and groceries, even a small jump at the pump can throw everything off. Whether prices continue to rise or level out, students say they'll be monitoring closely and adjusting their routines to make every dollar stretch. Reporting from San Marcos, I'm Gisela Morones, Bobcat Update.
We told you last time about a new state law that bans some hemp products, but that ban just went up in smoke, at least for now. A Travis County judge just ordered a stay of that law while a lawsuit goes forward. The Texas Tribune reports that Judge Maya Guerra Gamble put the law on hold for at least a couple of weeks. A coalition of hemp businesses sued, saying that the law violates a 2019 law that defines what's legal when it comes to hemp. Last year, the city started charging some people to park near the river. Now, San Marcos might charge some people to use the river itself. Natalie Munoz and Gracie Fabella take a deeper dive on the change.
The city of San Marcos is now requiring out-of-town visitors to pay an entrance fee to use Rio Vista. This comes after City Council voted in support of the ordinance on April 7th. From Friday to Sunday, adults 18 and older will have to pay a $5 entry fee to use Rio Vista Park.
How would we handle those situations?
I think we have to take their word for it in that moment. There's no way to verify.
San Marcos locals are exempt from paying, as well as Texas State students with proof of address. The city's Parks and Recreation Department said the money from the fee will help support the park's upkeep, safety, and environmental health.
I feel like natural areas and natural parks like this should just be free of financial burden like that. There's got to be a different way around. I don't know.
This implementation will be enforced from Memorial to Labor Day.
You know, it could change as the city changes fees, and the current fee can be found and show where that fee schedule is.
Another financial barrier to come here. I mean, I know they have to pay to park at the two rentals over there, I believe, right? I just don't want to have another barrier to get in the park, pay to park, and then I got to pay to, I mean, you got the gas too, the gas is up, and then I got to worry about getting in here for the money.
The fees can be paid online or in person at designated Parks and Rec facilities. This is Natalie Munoz for Bobcat Update.
Rachel, let me ask you something. Did you have any trouble finding parking this week?
You know I did. It gets pretty annoying, especially when it gets crowded.
What if we told you there was a legal parking lot nearby with open spaces? Mia Salazar and Hayden Eiler show us the way.
Trouble finding parking at the stadium? Well, you're in luck, because Texas State University has finally completed construction on the Thorpe Lane parking lot. The project has added hundreds of new parking spots for both students and commuters, so you no longer have to pile into the overcrowded stadium. The location was also chosen to be as convenient as possible for commuters. The Vice President of Facilities, Dan Costello, had this to say about the new lot.
And what's going to be great about that is you'll be able to access that parking lot directly from the I-35 access road and be able to exit out onto the I-35 access road. So if you're a commuter and you're coming, if you're coming from either north or south and I-35 is your chosen, route of choice, then that provides a good option because you can get in and off campus really easily. I just think it's going to be a great spot. It'll be over 500 parking spots in that lot. So easy to access and a very quick route onto campus.
Originally, the lot wasn't getting much use when it first opened earlier this January, but in the last few months, many students have started taking advantage of its convenience.
I'm a CS major, so a lot of my classes are actually in Derrick Hall and in Lampasas, because I also work with the Honors College. So the Thorpe Lane bus really sort of takes me to where I need to be going, especially as far as like the center of campus goes. I think as far as like the rollout of the bus went, I think it could have been done better. It took me a little while to find this place. I kept parking over at the stadium, and then I tried to park over at Bobcat Village, and it took me a bit to sort of find it through Google Maps. But I'm glad I did. It's really convenient. It's nice as a commuter to be able to pull right off the highway here and just sort of throw it in right over there.
With more people becoming aware of the lot, we spoke with one of the bus drivers to see how full the ride usually gets.
Actually, it's not that full. Occasionally you'll get a full bus, and it's not completely full, but I don't think a lot of people know about the Thorpe parking lot yet.
The Thorpe parking lot is open to all Texas State students and runs buses the same time as the other stops. For Bobcat Update, I'm Hayden Eiler.
A favorite among San Martians, the monthly Vanilla Bean Market just lost its prime location on the courthouse grounds. Cassidy Moya and I got over there to see why, and how the market is trying to work around it. Behind me is the Hays County Courthouse, where the Vanilla Bean Market once took place and joined together local vendors and students. Without access to this space, that sense of community and income for a lot of small businesses is now up in the air. The Vanilla Bean Market, which began in 2023, is a local pop-up known for spotlighting small businesses every third Saturday of the month. However, it is no longer allowed to be held on the Hays County Courthouse grounds. Some students shared their thoughts.
I saw that on Instagram recently and I was so disappointed and I was honestly really confused.
It was just fun to come with friends and meet people selling their stuff and helping small business owners.
Yeah, I heard about it on Instagram. It was really depressing because that's like my go-to spot on Saturdays,
According to the Vanilla Bean Market team, there is ongoing conversation with the Hays County Courthouse to see if there's something that can be done about the situation.
Kenya Pineda, owner of the Freshie Spot, shares how the announcement also caught local vendors by surprise, possibly presenting complications.
I mean, we honestly never thought it was actually going to be closed. You know, like we had been hearing about that pushback from other people protesting against it for a while. I'd say maybe like even a year, to be honest. We know David personally and Cooper, so we had been hearing it personally from them, but we really never thought that it would actually get shut down. I feel like for everybody, it would affect their business. I mean, Vanilla Bean was bringing about like 75 vendors each time. That's a lot of vendors. That's a lot of people, a lot of businesses that don't do other markets and, focus more on Vanilla Bean because it's so big and everybody knows about it. And it being shut down, it's harmful for them.
Since the ban, the Vanilla Bean Market team has shared on social media that they're collaborating with the Native Blends to host their market for one night only on April 25th. Still, it is unclear whether the Vanilla Bean Market will be back.
There's another big activity, and this one is definitely happening, and soon.
Yeah, it's RiverFest. This is the third year in a row Texas State has hosted it in Sewell Park. It starts in an hour or so. Reporter Natalie Munoz is there live to show us around. Natalie?
I am Natalie Munoz for Bobcat Update, live from Sewell Park. Here, we're starting to get ready for RiverFest. If you can see the stage right here, Good Neighbors is setting up for sound check. The headliners for today's RiverFest are going to be Tommy Richmond, Good Neighbors, and Snake Hips. You may know Tommy Richmond from his hit song $1 Million Baby, which went viral on TikTok this past year. 2 years ago, President Kelly Damphus reinstated RiverFest with headliner Tyga. Tyga brought a big crowd to Texas State, and University PD had to close the gate with students still in line. However, students pressed down the gate until it fell and rushed in. Fortunately, there were no injuries, and last year's RiverFest went on without a hitch. If you look over here, you'll see our sponsors. I think we should go ask a couple questions. Come this way. Hi, guys. And they have a few goodies that you can come get yourself if you feel so inclined. Well, here. Hi, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Mindy.
Are you a Texas State student?
No, I used to be, but I.
Are you excited for RiverFest?
Yeah, we are. We're so excited to be here.
Is there anyone that you're excited to see?
I think we're excited to see, I think it's Good Neighbors. Yeah, Good Neighbors.
What are y'all doing here?
So today we're giving out free body armor, liquid IV, t-shirt, so if anyone wants to stop by, they can go ahead and grab stuff from us.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Advice to any Bobcats who plan on coming out today: drink some water and eat some food. That's all I have from Sewell Park. I am Natalie Munoz for Bobcat Update. Back to you.
Thanks, Natalie. Have fun. It looks like that'll be the place to be tonight.
Another big student event happened this month: elections for new members of student government. And there were a record number of votes cast in this year's election. More than 2,500 students voted on a new president, vice president, and student senators from the university's 8 colleges. The Bobcat and Bloom ticket won the presidency, and Vice President Joanna Ajayi will be student government president next year. She is a sophomore finance major who ran on a ticket to be inclusive of all voices. Her vice president, Keller Hammock, is a junior accounting major. They got 3 times as many votes as the New Horizon Coalition. You can learn more about the election, including who your college's representative will be, on the KTSW student blog and in the University Star. Speaking of the Star, the staff at the school newspaper is celebrating its 115th anniversary this year, and they found a really rewarding way to do it.
They're inviting alumni to come back to talk about their successful careers. Reporter Lisbeth Hernandez introduces us to a legend from TV news in Dallas, who started right here as a fellow Bobcat.
The University Star invites Gloria Campos for their first guest lecture series event, reflecting on her experiences in the newsroom and as a journalist. She also shares about the evolution and future of journalism and storytelling.
Like most broadcast students over here, and we're hoping to have a career like Gloria Campos. She got her bachelor's in mass communication, making her a Bobcat for life.
I can't tell you how happy I am to be back on campus and to be here with you all, because I want you all to learn from my experiences, and so you don't repeat maybe some of the mistakes I made.
The guest lecture took place during 1 to 2 p.m. and was followed by a Q&A from 2 to 3 p.m. This was an opportunity to personally ask Campos about challenges in the industry, advice for aspiring journalists, and about her career experiences. She shared emotional and inspirational moments such as her time producing Wednesday's Child, which offers a glimpse into a foster child's life, as well as her experience being the first Latino news anchor at WFAA.
So when I look back at my career, I think, well, yeah, I did a lot of great things and I broke some barriers and I didn't let people discourage me. And as you heard, some did. But again, not everybody in this world is going to like you or respect you. You just need to avoid those negative people.
For Bobcat Update, I'm Lisbeth Hernandez.
The Star has another guest speaker this week, Debbie Hyatt, who's worked for years at the Statesman and KUT Public Radio.
I'm planning to go to her talk. Coming up, there's a lot going on in sports.
Yep, championships in men's basketball, women's basketball, golf. Kaden Bessent is standing by in the Sports Center.
There's a new job opportunity for students who are looking for work. Keyword, looking. After that,
going for 1,000, yeah.
History is made on the diamond in both baseball and softball. One thing hasn't been done since 2013, and another has never been done before.
If you're looking for a place to improve your mental health, you might not have thought of this one, and it's free.
And don't be chicken about trying out the new spicy restaurants popping up around San Marcos.
San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter's mission is to care for, protect, and find quality homes for abandoned and neglected animals. Approximately 6.5 million animals enter a shelter, and only 3 million of those animals are adopted each year. More than half of those animals are left in the shelter without a home. Save a life and adopt or foster today. Contact the San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter at 512-805-2650. San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter, protecting and saving the lives of the pets of San Marcos.
We hope you filed your income taxes for the year, because if you waited until today, you're late. The IRS expects 164 million individual tax returns this year, but only about 1 in 6 Americans file at the last minute. In fact, 100 million returns were already filed by early April. Most of those were filed online. Artemis II returned to Earth Friday afternoon after a 10-day trip around the moon. The 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, got further away from Earth than any other humans in history. It's the first time humans have flown to the moon in more than 50 years. The plan is to launch Artemis 3 in the next year or so to land astronauts on the moon. 900 security cameras are now spread across the Texas State campus.
And our peers are the ones keeping an eye on them, and us. Reporter Mason Luss zooms in for a closer look.
Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas is one of the premier campuses here in Texas. However, recently, campus officials have decided to increase the amount of funding designated to student and staff safety. Campus officials have hired many students to monitor cameras on campus, leaving students to question whether or not they're being watched.
Some students feel very strongly about it, others not so much. We spoke with a couple students on campus to get their opinions. This is Sean Mall.
Why? Why are we adding them? I've been at Texas State for 2 years and I don't see no crime. And what's the camera gonna do? How about we have bodyguards, like guardians in Minecraft, standing around protecting people? Or why? It's kind of weird. Why take out money out of a budget to fund these students just watching a camera? It's not Five Nights at Freddy's. Why? There's something going on.
Others, such as Kang Lee here, feel differently.
Currently, they're setting it up to have a system for students to come and become workers and get paid themselves, keeping a local economy boost for students who need to find jobs, me as such. And then it also gives opportunities for away from big mega corporations using cameras to record us and uploading that information to God knows where.
With these extreme new technology adjustments, some students support it while other students don't. Only time will determine which decision was truly the right one.
There is a lot going on in sports these days, including big wins that haven't happened in a long time.
And even bigger than that, history being made. Kaden Bessent joins us live from the Sports Center with all the news, Texas State and national.
Rachel and Kimberly, thanks. Yeah, that's right. Let's start with a couple of championships in NCAA basketball. The Michigan Wolverines finished the men's side of March Madness with their first championship since 1989 after defeating UConn 69-63 just 10 days ago. 3 Wolverines finished in double digits. Elliot Cadeau led the scoring with 19 points. Merez Johnson Jr. had 12 points and 10 rebounds. Difference maker for Michigan was the 22 fouls they drew, which led to 28 free throw attempts. Cadeau and Trey McKinney are confirmed to return to Michigan for next season as the key pieces in the backcourt. Over on the women's side, it wasn't nearly as close. The UCLA Bruins took down the Dawn Staley-led South Carolina Gamecocks, who made their 3rd straight national championship appearance, 79-51. UCLA dominated every major category and led for 98% of the game. The entire starting 5 for the Bruins finished with double-digit points en route to their first ever NCAA national title. They made even more history in the WNBA draft Monday after becoming the first team to have 5 first-round picks, as well as the first team with 6 players selected in a single draft. Let's recap Championship Sunday in Augusta, starting with Justin Rose, who lost a playoff to Rory McIlroy at the Masters a year ago, with the chance to take the lead on hole 12, which is a par 3. But Rose chunks his chip shot from just off the green. Rose would bogey the 12th and fall back to 10 under par. McIlroy lands in sole possession of the lead at 11 under par. His beautiful tee shot at the par 3 lands within 8 feet of the hole. McIlroy sinks the birdie putt right after to increase his lead to 2 strokes. Down but not out is Scotty Scheffler, who sinks a long birdie putt at the par 5 15th to go to 10 under par. Let the battle begin as Rory answers with a birdie putt of his own at the 13th. Scotty Scheffler keeping the pressure on Rory as he sinks this birdie putt at the par 3 16th to move to 11 under par, just 2 back of Rory. The 2-stroke lead on the 18th, Rory gets the bogey he needs to win after blowing his drive into the trees and made an excellent recovery shot to put himself in position for another approach shot to get himself up and down for bogey to submit himself as the 4th golfer ever to win back-to-back Masters, adding to the rich history of Augusta. Let's bring it back to local sports. Texas State softball just had a signature win against the number 3 ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders after Matty Azua out-dueled the $1 million arm Nigeri Kennedy as they collected their highest ranked win in program history. But that wasn't the biggest win this season. Coach Ricky Woodard led the Cats to an 8-1 win over I-35 rival UTSA and into the history books. She joins Karen Chisholm as the only coaches in Texas State history to win 900 games. 900 career wins. From Southwest Texas State in the Southland Conference to Texas State headed to the Pac-12. 26 seasons later, head softball coach Ricky Woodard achieved just that with the Bobcats. But as much as she likes winning, it goes beyond the win column.
I think all the people that I've been able to do the journey with, I think about all the recruits and the players and the coaches, administrators, support staff. That's what the journey's been about to me. It hasn't been about wins and losses. This was just a number, and this is just as credits to all the people that I've been able to do the journey with.
For a big milestone like this one, the team wanted to get Woodard to that point, but keep going for more.
I feel like we tried to not think about it, but obviously it's a thought in the back of your mind when you know your coach is about to hit 900 wins. So it feels like we obviously wanted it for her, we wanted it for us, we wanted it for Texas State. 900's a big deal. 900's 900. She's gonna hit 1,000, so there's more to build. 900's not the ceiling for us.
As for what motivates Woodard, it's the people.
Don't get me wrong, I still like to win, but I like to see that change in the girl I get at 18 to the young woman that leads the program.
She's one of the main reasons I'm here. I feel like me and her just have such a good connection, and we always have, even when I was a junior in high school. It's always been very easy to talk to her, and she feels like a second mom to me. So.
One of the longest tenured Division I softball coaches of all time isn't done yet. Going for 1,000, yeah?
Well, I'm at 902, so I guess we're on our way, yes. What that means at the long run, I have no idea.
And on the other side of the diamond, Texas State baseball defeated Texas A&M 9-8 last Tuesday. That marked their first win over the Aggies in San Marcos since 2013. One last thing before we go, we aren't done making history on the ball field just yet. Next week when Texas A&M Corpus Christi visits Bobcat Ballpark, our crew will host the first ever live pregame show. First pitch is at 6, but we'll be streaming on YouTube starting around 5 p.m. with live interviews with the coach and player from both of the teams, the voice of the Bobcats, Brant Freeman, a reporter in the stands, and some feature stories. Last but not least, even Texas State President Kelly Danfus will join the show around 5:30. Visit txsttv.com or watch our social media at txsttv to see where to watch. That's all I have, and like you said, there's a lot going on in sports.
Thanks, Kaden. It's not always easy to find information about mental health, but a new project by St. David's is trying to put materials where they're close and convenient.
Right. our public libraries. The San Marcos and Buda libraries are now providing mental health services to their local communities. Haley Thompson and Lisbeth Hernandez got a chance to check out these new resources.
The St. David's Foundation has taken special interest in Hays County, adding the San Marcos and Buda Public Library to their list of many that provide mental health services to local communities across Central Texas. After being chosen to be part of a pilot program that went from 2022 through 2025, Libraries for Health officially began this year and is being funded by the St. David's Foundation, which not only funds the program, but also the books and resources for mental health. The Libraries program holds weekly sessions to foster mental health wellness through community-based activities, including art classes, yoga, and exercise.
The response was so positive to this that people who participated felt that it really provided something that was missing in their lives, which led us down the path of realizing that we could offer art classes as a way of tapping into the therapeutic value of art in people's lives.
I'd love to come. These are awesome. Yeah. And we've had a few Texas State students that come. And I teach Garabatos, which is my own approach to intuitive drawing, and I teach a mixed media class. It could be two, but I think more than the technique itself is the amount of confidence that people gain. And they stop being so self-judgmental as well.
Michael Hannon, who teaches art techniques, explains how these practices are helpful.
You know, one of the things that when people start trying these things, they gain confidence in the fact that they can do things that they never thought they would be able to do.
Overall, the program has received positive feedback.
These are classes that are offering solace, peace, and a creative outlet. They are not just community building, they are life-saving.
For Bobcat Update, I'm Lisbeth Hernandez.
So, the good news is, if you like Southern-style chicken, you have some tasty new choices.
But with so many choices, picking where to go can get a little spicy. As Jace Jowers and Dax Lawhan found out, it's a good problem to have.
Rain or shine, Slim Chickens is on their grind. The fast food establishment is the latest addition to what appears to be the community's go-to grub, chicken. We spoke to Assistant General Manager Steven to recap on opening week, and he told us this.
San Marcos has a lot of chicken spots, but we believe that if we keep our focus on the fresh food and great customer service, people won't want to just zip through, get their food, and leave. We are confident that if we give them a great experience, they'll keep coming back. The fast-growing chain known for its chicken tenders is the latest restaurant to enter the college town, and it's entering a crowded field. Just down the road, students and locals already have plenty of options, including Lane's Chicken Fingers, Popeyes, Temple 22, and Chick-fil-A, just to name a few. With Texas State University nearby and thousands of drivers passing through Interstate 35 every day, restaurants see San Marcos as the perfect place to open quick spots for comfort food. But the result is a surprising number of places all serving essentially the same thing: fried chicken. For some residents, that means more choices when hunger hits. For others, it raises the question, just how many chicken restaurants does one city need? For now, the answer appears to be at least one more. For Bobcat Update, I'm Jace Jowers.
That's all we have for this edition of Bobcat Update. Thanks for joining us.
Watch the space for more news by students for students. We'll see you soon.